So I want to introduce now our next and final performer. He's one of the people we're most pleased actually to have on board with the campaign. A radical voice, a brilliant musician, the cultural conscience of the nation. Please give a big, warm round of applause to Billy Bragg.
That's very kind, thank you. Singer-songwriter from Barking in Essex would have done actually, but thank you for the cultural conscience bit. Thanks. Last night I had the strangest dream I ever dreamed before. I dreamed the world had all agreed to put an end to war. I dreamed I saw a mighty room, and the room was full of men, and the paper they were signing said they'd never fight again. And when the papers all were signed and 1,000,000 copies made, they all joined hands and bowed their heads, and grateful prayers were said. And the people in the street below were dancing all around, and guns and bombs and uniforms were scattered on the ground. Last night I had the strangest dream I ever dreamed before. I dreamed the world had all agreed to put an end to war. Thank you. Thank you very much. I can't think of anyone who wrote, that I know anyone who wrote more songs about the First World War than Eric Bogle, a Scottish songwriter who lived most of his life in Australia. He wrote a song you may be familiar with from the Pogues called The Band Played Waltzing Matilda. He wrote another great song called The Green Fields of France that was recorded by the Men They Couldn't Hang. And I'm going to play another one of his songs, perhaps a lesser known song of his. It doesn't really come from the First World War, but could have. It's one of those great anti-war songs, I think. It's called My Youngest Son Came Home Today. My youngest son came home today. His friends marched with him all the way. The fife and drum beat out the time, while in his box of polished pine, like dead meat on a butcher's tray, my youngest son came home today. My youngest son was a fine young man, with a wife, a daughter and 2 sons, and a man he would have lived and died till by a bullet sanctified. Now he's a saint, all so they say. They brought their young saint home today. An Irish sky looks down and weeps upon the narrow Belfast streets. The children's blood in gutters spilled, in dreams of glory unfulfilled, as part of freedom's price to pay. My youngest son came home today. My youngest son came home today. His friends marched with him all the way. The pipe and drum beat out the time, while in his box of polished pine, like dead meat on a butcher's tray, my youngest son came home today. And this time he's here to stay. Thank you. Blue eyes fighting the grey eyes, fighting the tears. Armed for the teeth, for a war of words reaching all the years. I advanced across a poppy field. I saw the gleam as you raised your shield, and love screamed down with the sun behind its back. Our fathers were all soldiers, shall we be soldiers too? Fighting and falling like soldiers do. Nothing is clear in this tactical, unclear war, and I can't be bothered to find out what we were fighting for. No one can win this war of the senses. I see no reason to drop my defenses, stand fast, my emotions rally round my shaking heart. Our fathers were all soldiers, shall we be soldiers too? Fighting and falling like soldiers do. Some of us carrying weapons, some of us praying. Each of us trying to work out what the other is saying. But the secrets are out of the box, and the hopes of the ages are dashed on the rocks. And I sleep with one eye open, waiting for the dawn. fathers were all soldiers. Should we be soldiers too? Fighting, falling like soldiers do. Our fathers were all soldiers. Should we be soldiers too? Fighting and falling like soldiers do. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, I don't, that's one of my songs. I don't actually have any songs that specifically refer to the First World War, but I was looking through a book of war poetry. Amazing how different the war poetry from the First World War compared to the Second World War is. But I came across this poem by Thomas Hardy, and it was one of those poems that looked eminently singable. So I'm going to see if I can sing it for you now. It's called The Man He Killed. If he and I had met beside some old and ancient inn, we would have set us down to wet many a napkin. But we were ranged as infantry, and staring face to face, I shot at him as he at me, and killed him in his place. I shot him dead because he was my foe. Just so he was my foe, that's true, it's clear enough, although he thought that he'd enlist perhaps offhand, like just as I was out of work and sold his traps. No other reason why. How quaint and curious is war. You shoot a fella down that you would treat in any bar or help to half a crown. But we were ranged as infantry, and staring face to face, I shot at him as he at me, and killed him in his place. Thank you. I'm old enough to remember veterans of the First World War. I used to run errands for a guy who was a neighbour of my parents, embarking a guy named Will Vernon. He was a lovely old guy. He'd been a scoutmaster, but he'd also been gassed on the Somme. And if the weather was a bit dampish as it was, we lived by the river, by the Thames in Barking, and some nights the fog would come up from the river and hang around you in those days. And on those days, Will Vernon found it difficult to breathe. He coughed a cough as wet as an October day, and sometimes talking to him when he was trying to tell me what he wanted from the shops, it was like talking to a drowned man, like a drowned man. And you know, I knew, I'm that age also, that I knew a lot of the men down our street. I knew them by what they'd done in the Second World War. You know, my father used to say to me, don't play football up against that guy at the end street, that old Polish guy. He was in the resistance, you know, he'll come out and, you know, cut your throat. They stopped us kicking out football against these Gable End Whites here. And old Fred Bacon over the road had been on submarines. You never know what he might do. He didn't play knocking down the ginger on his door either. But never anybody said anything vaguely humorous about Will Vernon. And when I said to my dad, I must ask Mr. Vernon what he did in the war, my dad said, it's best you don't do that, son. It's best you don't do that. And a couple of years ago, through the wonder of the internet, I found out what happened to Will Vernon. He was an 18-year-old recruit. He was on the Somme in the last month of the war, and he was gassed. He didn't really see any fighting, I don't think. He was gassed and invalided out. And his life, just as Edgar Williams referred, I was thinking of Will Vernon as I was listening to that beautiful piece by Edgar Williams about his dad and his uncle. And he was a lovely bloke, old Will Vernon. Bear with me a bit here. Come on. Yeah, that'll do nicely. I'll finish off with this. I was a miner, I was a docker, I was rowing between the wars. I raised a family in time of austerity with sweat at the foundry between the wars. I paid the union, and as times got harder, I look to the government to help the working man, but they brought prosperity down at the armory. We're arming for peace, me boys, between the wars. I kept the faith, and I kept voting not for the iron fist, but for the helping hand. Well, this is a land with a wall around it, and mine is a faith in my fellow man. This is a land of hope and glory. Mine is the green field and the factory floor. There's other skies all dark with bombers, and mine is a peace winner between the wars. Call up the craftsman, bring me the draftsman, build me a path from cradle to grave, and I'll give my consent to any government that does not deny a man a living wage. Go find the young men, never to fight again. Bring up the banners from the days gone by. Sweet moderation, heart of this nation, desert us not, we are between the wars. Thank you very much.
The singer-songwriter from Barking is back. He's going to do another one. Billy, thank you so much. Before he does, please give a big thank you to everyone who's performed tonight. Absolutely phenomenal. All of them. Sign up to look on our website, noglory.org, and next year we're going to have one humongous big event at the Barbican, because we are going to get a message across that there is a different story about war. There is a way of looking for peace, not war. So, the singer-songwriter from Barking, who does such great poems from Dorset, from Thomas Hardy, Billy Bragg. Thank you so much, Billy.
Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you. And thanks very much, everyone, tonight for coming along. And it's just such, the acoustics in here are just so great, aren't they? When I think of some of the tin boxes I play in my profession, and you look at a place like this and the acoustics. But you know, this wasn't just built for a person to sing. This was built for community to sing. So maybe we should sing together for the end of the evening. Let's see if we can sing together. Where have all the flowers gone? Long time passing. Come on. Where have all the flowers gone? A long time ago. Where have all the flowers gone? Young girls pick them, everyone. When will they ever learn? When will they ever learn? Come on, everyone, come on, come on, come on. Come on, come up here, come on. Where have all the young girls gone? Long time passing. Where have all the young girls gone? A long time ago. Where have all the young girls gone? Gone to young men, everyone. When will they ever learn? When will they ever learn? Where have all the young men gone? Long time passing. Where have all the young men gone? Long time ago. Where have all the young men gone? Gone for soldiers, everyone. When will they ever learn? When will they ever learn? Where have all the soldiers gone? Where have all the soldiers gone? Long time passing. Where have all the soldiers gone? A long time ago. Where have all the soldiers gone? Gone to graveyards, everyone. When will they ever learn? When will they ever learn? Where have all the graveyards gone? Where have all the graveyards gone? Long time passing. Where have all the graveyards gone? A long time ago. Where have all the graveyards gone? Gone to flowers.